I was an overweight kid, but had lost all that weight and was thin, well, thinnish, by the time I finished high school. I spent most of my adult life in pretty decent shape, but then suddenly in my late 30s, I looked into the mirror at an overweight me. I didn't think it was that bad until I went to the doctor about an issue I was having with my knee. The knee surgeon weighed me, as a normal part of taking my vitals, and said my BMI was way too high and that I needed to lose 40 pounds. I didn't want to believe it. My initial feeling was that the surgeon was wrong and insensitive for saying such a thing. I mean, I really grew to resent that doctor about the whole thing. It was at this time that I noticed that I also had an aversion to the idea of weighing myself. I wanted nothing to do with the scale. But eventually, I figured the only way to know whether or not you're losing weight is to actually get on a scale and weigh yourself. So I weighed myself every morning. And even though it wasn't pretty at first, I continued to weigh myself every morning. And over time, and in addition to watching my caloric and carb intake, it worked. It took a few weeks before other people started to notice that I was losing weight, but in time I started to hear this question a lot. Are you losing weight? And I've got to tell you, it's a great day when someone asks you that question. Then people began to ask another question. How are you losing weight? To my utter surprise, I was met with such resistance when I told people about the importance of weighing yourself. Everything from everyone has their own ideal weight to it's not about how much you weigh, but how you feel about yourself. And even, I hate scales. I'll never have one in my house. And weight tends to fluctuate, so you're probably only losing water weight. Wow, 60 pounds of water weight? That's a lot of water. I was amazed. People simply hated the idea of a weighing scale, and I thought I had been the only one. But also, like me, their objection to the weighing scale was a fully emotional and highly illogical response. Here's a question that's a lot more important than it may at first seem. What do humans have against weighing scales? After pondering the question, I actually related it to another question I've often asked as a Christian. Why do people respond so negatively to the Bible? Don't get me wrong. I'm well aware that the Bible is in places a hard book to follow, and it's not without its difficulties. But when assessed in a fair way, it's amazingly consistent and has a demonstrably huge and positive impact on people, on relationships, on organizations, and even on societies. But none of this is really the point I'm making. My point is that people's rejection of the Bible is often like people's rejection of the weighing scale, an emotionally charged response that only pretends to be grounded in logic. Both the Bible and weighing scales naturally elicit powerful, impassioned, almost primal negative responses from people. But is this kind of response really because people are afraid of a lie? It simply can't be. In today's world, a lie is easier to find than a mosquito in a Louisiana bayou. I don't think people are really afraid of lies from their Bible or from their scale. I would submit that people are in fact resistant to the Bible and the scale because they know it's going to tell them the truth, not a lie, and more to the point, the truth about themselves. And it's often a truth we as humans don't want to hear. Yet, in my weight loss adventure, I learned that if I have the courage to face the painful and often ugly truth about myself, eventually that truth will free me from all sorts of things. And what started out as a difficult morning appointment with truth revealed itself to be a pillar of furthering my emotional, physical, and even spiritual health. So in addition to fixing my knee, I can thank my knee surgeon for encouraging me to lose weight and for teaching me a powerful truth. That is, though the lie makes you feel better for the day, it will eventually ruin all your tomorrows.